Let's hear from this expert. Angela Rasmussen is a virologist at the Vaccine and Infectious Disease Organization at the University of Saskatchewan, and she joins us now. First of all, what do you make of the CFIA's decision to cull these ostriches?
Well, I do think it's the appropriate decision. We have mountains and mountains of evidence where we know that depopulation or culling is really the first line of defense for stopping the spread of avian flu between different poultry farms and populations of birds. Also, it's the best way to reduce risk to humans and other animals from this virus.
The reality is that the risk to humans is extremely low. I mean, even the Canadian Food Inspection Agency itself admits that if you eat food from, that's from contaminated with the virus, the risk in food is essentially non-existent. This idea of creating a pandemic, there's no case that's been documented of H5N1 being transmitted from one person to another person. So the concept that we're going to have a massive pandemic from some special mutated form of the virus from these ostriches is completely ridiculous.
In addition to that, Canada is party to trade agreements in which we have actually agreed to respond to avian flu outbreaks with what's called the stamping out policy, or mandatory depopulation of flocks that have been infected. So this is really both scientifically and legally, I think, the right thing to do to reduce the risk as much as we can.
The World Organization for Animal Health provides guidelines. These are not laws. And in the guidelines, it's up to the individual countries to decide whether or not they're going to adopt those. Now, there are trade implications, and what happens is we try to go with the guidelines that's, with agreements with these other countries. And so the World Organization for Animal Health, when you have highly pathogenic influenza virus, not low pathogenicity virus, H5N1, the recommendation is that the zone would not be declared disease-free where this outbreak has occurred until either you do the culling process where you kill any animal that's in contact with the diseased animals, and you wait 1 month, and if there's no other evidence, then you can go forward and now have trade, basically with the official stamp that this is disease-free. Now, that used to be 3 months prior to 2025. So it's interesting that they actually shortened the period after the stamping out policy. So if you're disease-free for a month, that's okay. Now, if you don't do that, and this is clearly an option provided through the World Organization for Animal Health, and you let it burn out, that means you let the herd or flock die, and any survivors, if it's disease-free for a 1-year period, then you're back to the disease-free zone status. Now, as it turns out, here in British Columbia, we have many different zones, and the bulk of the poultry industry is actually here in southern western British Columbia. And where the ostriches are on the Universal Ostrich Farm, it's in its own zone. So what goes on in that zone does not really affect the trade of poultry products in the other zones.